the Meteor demonstration. So we turn on the Meteor client and it runs on your PC connecting to the server. So until it connects, you're not through. Once you're connected through the secure network, you still got to log in and authenticate to the server. So here we hit the login button and put in our username and password. So hit enter and you're inside the system securely. So here it knows it's me, Gary Smith. You choose a workshop and a machine to get to your equipment, and you can also choose which type of software you want to use this Meteor software in conjunction with. So you've got the options of PCDMIS, Spatial Analyzer, or AXYZ. It's an old legacy type software that was used for theodolites produced by Leica. Spatial Analyzer and PCDMIS are both software packages that are on sale from Hexagon. So that's who we've used for all the trials so far. It's worth mentioning that by using these packages you can access many measurement devices, and most of the software makes use of those features. Okay, so choose your workshop, in this case our demonstration and the demo 1 machine, and immediately the console or the recipe downloads and you get confirmation that that has been successful. Should there be any failures, missing files, things that don't make it, you'll get an alert at this stage. So once that message has run its course and you know everything's okay, up comes the recipe itself. In this case, in our demonstration, we've got 4 measurements to take, and the left hand side of the image, the left hand side of the screen shows the image that by itself explains hopefully more or less what needs to be done. And for people who have done this before, this will remind them of what it is they need to do. If it's the first time they've done it, we'll see that there's more detail available. So moving on through, you'll also see on the right hand side of the screen there are positions that are ready to receive measurements from the software package, Spatial Analyzer, PCDMIS, and so on. So it's ready to receive up to 6 different values for each measurement: X, Y, Z, I, J, K. So 1 for each of the 4 components. In this case, they're all point measurements. So PNT is the default setting for a point. So it's ready to receive 4 points, and it will pick up the X, Y, Z, I, J, K just as soon as they're measured in using Spatial Analyzer in this case. So down in the bottom, you'll also see there is space to perform calculations once all 4 measurements are read in. And in this case, we've got range in X and range in Z. Some pretty simple calculations. Okay, so point 1 refers to shot 1 in the picture, shot 2, point 2, shot 3, point 3, and shot 4, point 4, and so on. So let's just see what else we've got. As soon as that comes in, the latest column, the column that's furthest to the left, will populate with the calculated value from the 4 shots that have just come in. Okay, so next up is movement. Now again, here we've got a separate tab for movement, which explains to the user what's going to happen. And in this case, the image conveys the motion of the unit from the advanced position and the retracted position. And finally, in the third tab in this example, we're going to measure and report back on parallelism. So for parallelism, you can see there are 2 shots with 2 points that are waiting to receive values come in. There'll be 4 calculations that should appear in the latest column straight away. So first up, parallelism to the XOY plane, which is in millimeters per meter. Parallelism to XOZ plane, millimeters per meter. Position in X and position in Z. So although at the minute these will appear quite confusing, let's see if we can figure this all out. So going back to the rail itself. Now, to find out more about what's going on, there's an option in Meteor where you can click on the image itself and you'll see a dialog box appear. If the person who has created the, call them a recipe, but if it created the content has provided additional information, it'll come up and be made available. So if I click on the image, up comes the instructions box, and in this case there are 2 instructions that are made available. It looks like the person has created a demo reel Y and a demo reel how MP4 file, and these can be any type of files. They can be video files, image files, document files, PDFs. They can be let me see what else. You could have anything you like, such as mechanical drawings, electrical drawings, whatever you need to convey the message to the person who's performing the measurement, telling them what to do. Just as long as the computer that is running the client application has got a program associated with that file type, it'll work just fine. So you may need e-drawings, for example, to view to see mechanical 3D models and so on. But in this case, .mp4 files are a standard video file system. So if I click on demo reel Y, let's click on show the instruction, and only at this point in time the file is downloaded from the server over the secure connection, and it launches automatically using the default program. So if I click on play, we can watch somebody who has previously created a video to explain why it's necessary to perform this operation, and we've got a separate link to this video. So very good. You can at least start off with the why, as many people hope that you'll do. So if the person who's going to perform the measurement understands why the measurement needs to be done, you stand a better chance of it being done to the standard that you want. Okay, so next up, look at the how to do it document. So this is, again, it's a video. Up it comes and we press play, and we can see in this case that the person who generated the content has taken the trouble to create a little video to explain what goes on in the background. So instructions and guidance on how to measure. Again, we've got a link to that. So very interesting. Moving on through to movement again, if we click on it, we can see that in this case there are 2 documents, a how video and a why video. So let's see the how one, let's see what it says. So up it comes, again, a very technical explanation in this case, hopefully to show what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and a little bit of guidance, which may be useful because your users may be overly familiar with this, and that's fine, but you will have a change and evolution in your personnel from time to time. It may be somebody new who needs to do this, or somebody who has performed lots of other tasks in the intervening period of time, months, years, and they're coming back to something that they value a refresher training. So having the information in the background, not so much in their face, so to speak, but just available when they need it, can help focus attention and takes away distractions. So we can close that. We'll look at the why, and again, let's see. Okay, so somebody has recorded a piece of information to try and convince us as to why it's necessary to perform this function. Great. I'll put a link into it as well. In this case, it's a quality manager. I guess the idea here is that if you explain why something has to be done. Explain it once, it'll be viewed again and again and again. We know from the direction that's being taken on most social media that video is the preferred method or the preferred media for a lot of communications, and people are prepared to watch a short video to pick things up, where they may not necessarily sit down and read more than a couple of words of text. So you can reach out to your employees by creating a very short video clip trying to explain why. Okay, so moving on then through to parallelism. Again, click on the image and we can see if they've, oh yes, there are two documents, so the how and the why. So let's start off with the why. Again, show the instruction, and the file downloads and launches automatically. So click on why. Again, why parallelism, pretty complicated task. So click on the link here to see the video in its entirety from somewhere else, and we'll move on through to see what the other video on offer is. Let's see the how video. Again, a technical instruction on how something should be done. So launching the video after it's downloaded, and this is all in real time. We'll see lots of graphics trying to show and explain what's going on. So all in all, the framework allows you to load up in Meteor all this documentation that's put at the disposal of the person who's out in the field. Okay, they've got a measurement device. How should they use the measurement device, and why should they use it? And once they've got the measurements, what are they going to do? So let's go shoot in some measurements here. So we're going